This is a super easy fish to make. The first thing you want to do is determine what type of paper you want to use. If it's too flimsy, then your fish is just going to fall over. So hold your paper out in front of you to determine if it's thick enough to support your fish. And it doesn't have to be any kind of paper that is fancy, just scraps will do. As you can see, I took this box here and I cut portions of the box, and from that box I was able to get these thick pieces to make fish from. And then I actually used an old file folder here, and all you do is draw your fish on there. You draw half a circle or parenthesis, and then in the opposite direction you draw that parenthesis. One end they cross over, so it will make the tail for your fish. And right there where that tail comes together with the body of the fish, right there, you have to be really careful, because if you come down to a point in cutting that out, it's going to make the tail so flimsy it can actually just break off. So when I make my fish, when I cut them out, I always leave a little extra paper, whether it's construction paper, whether it's a file folder, or even if you use an old box that is no longer needed. See how I left extra there? Just be sure whatever you're using to cut your fish from, that you have permission from your adult, because we don't want to cut up any important papers or box that your parents need. So I flipped it over to the other side from where I drew the fish, but you can always go back and just erase those marks. I decided to put a little eye on my fish. That you could take a marker and you could just draw it. I put a little dab of hot glue and then put a flat rock. Now if you use hot glue, you want to be sure that you get an adult to help you with that, because hot glue can burn very badly. It can cause blisters. I know that because it has happened to me. So here I have my first little fish completed, and it took me the hardest part, and that wasn't hard, but the most time-consuming part is finding what you plan to cut your fish out with. So here I make half a parenthesis and the other half of the parenthesis and just cross them over at the bottom, so that forms the tail of your fish. And then I cut it out.
Grab your pole, grab your hat, meet me where the cattails chat. The sun's just peeking through the trees, feel that cool and gentle breeze. Worms in a can tucked in tight, we're fishing till the stars take flight. Down at the little fishing pond where the days are short but the laughs are.
Now I want to show you a fishing tackle box. If you've never been fishing before, you've probably seen these and wondered what is inside of it, what people keep inside of them. Here we have this little floater or bobber, and that is actually what tells you when a fish is biting on your hook and when you have the possibility of having a fish. And I say possibility because sometimes they nibble and get away. Here you have a worm, a fishing worm. They're very rubbery, and it is on a hook, and get an adult to help you with that. Do not ever touch a fishing hook. Always get an adult to help you with that. So here I'm just showing you these worms. There are different kinds. There's the fishing hook, and these are very dangerous. You can get them caught in your finger. And then I'm going to show you some different bait. That's a different color of fishing worm. And then I'm not sure, they're called lures, hooks, bait, but here we have a different type. And for every type of fish that you want to catch and any different type of body of water you're fishing in, whether it's a lake, a pond, the ocean, you use different lures to catch your fish. Now these little bobbers, they bob on top of the water. That's why they're called bobbers. Now where these were purchased from, they were actually called fishing floats. So floaters, some people call them floaters. And I'm just showing you that they float on top of the water and they don't go down until a fish pulls it down like that. Otherwise they stay on top of the water. It's kind of hard to demonstrate with just a bowl, but when it's in a big body of water, it really makes more sense at that time. Now I'm showing you there that your hook, your line needs to go way down into the water away from your hook. But like I said, I don't have a whole lot of water, so it's harder for me to show you. Normally you would have that, you want that hook to go way down into the water where the fish will grab it. So I'm just demonstrating with this little bowl of water, so I don't have a lot of space there to show you. But if that was way down in the water, your hook would be way down with whatever bait you're using, whether it's artificial or live. And then that's what, when a fish is nibbling on your hook, that's what that bobber or floater starts doing. And yes, Charles, I know, but this is called a floater or a bobber. And well, it bobs around in the water, and when a fish, oh, well, look, Charles, look, hey, everybody, it is so good to see you. Well, I can't really see you, but you can see me. Well, you know what I mean? It is so good to be here. Thank you for being here today. And I have a friend here. His name is Charles. He had a birthday in January. But anyway, Charles is here. And I was just telling him about fishing and how I went fishing with my daddy when I was a little girl. And I have a story I'm going to read to him about fishing. And, well, I got my bag. Let me see if I can find my book in my bag. Hold on just a minute. Here it is. Here it is. Here's my book.
Grab your pole, grab your hat, meet me where the cattails chat. The sun's just peeking through the trees, feel that cool and gentle breeze. Worms in a can tucked in tight, we're fishing till the stars take flight. Down at the little fishing pond where the days are short but the laughs are long. Cast your line, sing a song, nothing in the world could feel this wrong. Down at the little fishing pond. Grandpa's story is tall and wide, of the big one he let slide. Minnows darting quick and sly, reflections dance in the big blue sky. The water rip